Newly revealed documents have uncovered how the FBI was apparently totally unprepared for the rise of deepfakes, and they considered it sort of an existential threat to their ability to do their job. This goes back about 5 years, and I would love to get some updated information for how they're grappling with how much more sophisticated deepfakes are than they were back in 2018 when these documents initially came out. I mean, we've seen the rise of not only like the casual ability to produce these things via Midjourney. We covered a story last week of people producing images of politicians cheating on their spouses. But you can do it in video and you can do it with voices. And I really hope that the FBI is caught up, but they had a lot of concerns. So in a July 2018 email, one FBI official from the Bureau's Operational Technology Division said, "Do we have the ability to effectively detect this?" I love that they're asking the question. They seem like the sort of person that would answer the question. Anyway, the context was a Washington Post newsletter titled "Doctored Videos Could Send Fake News Crisis into Overdrive," lawmakers warn. The response from another OTD official was no. Okay, other emails show the FBI officials thinking what other implications for deepfakes there may be. Quote, "Made me think that if they're doing this for trivial crap, then what is being done is surveillance video or other facial recognition images by others with better tools. Please follow," there's a section that's redacted closely. "It could put us out of business." This is the FBI. I don't know what them being put out of business means, but probably not good news necessarily. This could require urgent action on our part if it's real. Again, we don't know exactly what use of deepfakes they're talking about there. A lot of this is still redacted. But anyway, since 2018, there's been technological improvements, and there are all these tools that say that they can detect and tell an authentic image from a deepfake image. One, Intel says that their tool is 96% accurate. Okay, maybe it is, maybe it is. You know what else is developing? The tools that produce the deepfakes. And I know that people talk about like embedding some sort of like digital signature in these images and in videos to make it so that you'll always be able to track them. But it's easy to re-record, copy, and spread these in new file formats, stripping them of those sorts of fingerprints. I don't know, JR, that we've necessarily seen like the emblematic like scandal that comes about as a result of a deepfake. We have a ton of fake news, obviously, but like, like a candidate like having to resign or anything. But I feel like that is just waiting right out of our vision right now. What do you think about it?
Well, this is where it's supposed to be going anyway, right? But the thing that stuck out to me with this, when the FBI was asking these questions, is probably how surprised people might be that the FBI or these officials may not be up to date on it. They even like, there's a company we're gonna meet with today, we're gonna figure out this whole thing out. Whatever company that is, I suppose they trust with the information that they're gonna receive from them. But this, I think, highlights this illusion that we have that the government has this all thing together. That everybody who's running these agencies, who's the head of these departments, who gets maybe elected and then places people from some kind of experience that they know everything. They don't know everything. They have to figure it out. And then as they're figuring it out, some things are definitely gonna happen and slip through the cracks until they get it right. I don't know how long that'll be or how much longer it'll be before they fully figure this whole thing out, but it's a little bit disturbing to know that they don't know that. But then again, once I saw it, I was like, but that kind of makes sense. It's like when you finally realize that the person you assumed had all this, like your parent or something, maybe you're finally 13, 14, 15 years old and you're like, they don't really know everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure some other things out, and that's where we are.
Yeah, and bear in mind there's two sides of this. Like the easier side to focus on, I think, is the idea that a deepfake could be produced and people wouldn't necessarily know that it could be spread. I mean, we see, fake images that have been doctored, fake tweets, stuff like that. But there's also the opposite. There is, if there remains ongoing ambiguity or uncertainty about whether something is real or not, then there could be real images that are dismissed as fakes. That's not that hard to imagine. Like, look at how resistant to evidence a lot of people can be about issues that they care about. When audio, like is a stupid example that was recently in the news. The Donald Trump New Jersey talk about the classified documents. Lots of right wingers at those rallies say that it's fake, that it was made up. It wasn't. But the fact that some can be made up was enough to convince them. Like, it's another tool, so long as we don't know for sure, that aids in siloing people off and making it so that they don't need to accept something that might be inconvenient for them. Anyway, something to be worried about. To make you just slightly more worried before we end, William McKinsey, section chief of the information technology section at FBI, replied, "I Googled face swapping and learned a lot." That's terrifying. Anyway, yeah, you can learn a lot on the internet. I don't know if that's where you should be learning everything.